we do recognize, we're coming to that, please. Member from South Manchester, we're dealing with the bottleneck in Lucea. Yeah. But we wanted to first of all deal with what we know impacts him, and to indicate to him further that this morning we established a small team that will go to Negril on the 22nd to engage the stakeholders and the concerns that have been raised over the last few days, because we are conscious of the fact that there are areas that needs to be dealt with in Negril. No question about that.
Good evening and welcome to Negril Times, your trusted source for news, insight, and stories that matter across Negril and beyond. On the heels of mounting complaints about the deplorable state of Negril, including what many residents and stakeholders have dubbed the Negril Roundabout disaster, Tourism Minister Edmund Bartlett has finally announced that a team has been assembled to visit the resort town and meet with key stakeholders on Wednesday, October 22nd. The move comes amid, among other things, growing frustration by residents who have complained of overflowing garbage, blocked drains, water shortages, poor lighting, deteriorating sidewalks, the absence of basic public facilities, and most recently the tourism product development companies, TPDCO's, handling of the long-delayed Negril Roundabout project, which many say has left Negril looking more like a construction dump than a world-class destination. Minister Bartlett made the announcement in the House of Representatives earlier today, following his Locals First presentation, when he fielded questions from opposition member of the House and Western Westmoreland member of Parliament, Ian Hales. Hales had also asked, among other things, whether or not Negril could be marketed as a standalone destination, separate from the broader Jamaican brand, so that the local economy and its people could finally feel the direct benefits of the island's record-breaking visitor arrivals.
Minister, first let me commend you on congratulate you on the Local First policy initiative. Minister, Minister, I think you'd agree with me with Negril's contribution to the overall national tourism product. But for Local First to work, some things have to work first for the people in Negril, the small operators, the citizens that work within the tourism industry. And I'll go through some things here and I'd want your feedback on it. Number one, the infrastructure in Negril needs to, if it's local first, the local players in the market, they speak of the infrastructure in Negril. It needs to upgrade, it needs to look presentable, it needs to more or less look as if it's world class or other sections of Jamaica. Number two is they speak also, they speak in terms of the beautification of Negril. Minister, you can't have local first for the people of Negril if we don't deal with the bottleneck.
Member, we'll have some challenges when I am sitting in this chair as speaker.
Okay.
You are to ask a question. Your time for making a statement is only 5 minutes, and that is allowed to the person who is responding to the minister. Other than that, each person allowed in respect of questions afterwards in keeping with standing orders 11A and 17 subsection 2 must ask a question.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Minister, could you give me an update on the following? The bottleneck in Lucea, which is preventing the hotel operators in Negril, both small and large, in terms of attracting more visitors to Negril. That's number one. Question two, the beautification of Negril. Question three, the upgrade of the infrastructure in Negril. And question four, which I'd like to ask you is, could it be that Negril could be marketed as a by itself, a standalone, to benefit the people of Negril who have suffered so long. And Minister, in terms of this local first, how does it fit with the overall strategy of those operators in Negril now who are operating and find it difficult when you speak in terms of the amount of stopovers, the amount of visitors, and Negril still not feeling the impact of the amount of visitors that is coming on our shores in Jamaica, the small operators?
In his response, Minister Bartlett attempted to assure the House and the people of Negril that help is finally on the way.
We do recognize, we're coming to that, please. Member from South Manchester, we're dealing with the bottleneck in Lucea. Yeah. But we wanted to first of all deal with what we know impacts him, and to indicate to him further that this morning we established a small team that will go to Negril on the 22nd to engage the stakeholders and the concerns that have been raised over the last few days, because we are conscious of the fact that there are areas that needs to be dealt with in Negril. No question about that at all, and we certainly will. The issue of the bottleneck in Lucea is a concern, and the Prime Minister has indicated already the plans for us to have the bypass road established, and that will take us straight, in fact, from the perimeter road that we're doing in Montego, straight across the hills into Negril. And not only will we be dealing with that, but we will be changing the whole landscape within that area, and to enable a stronger tourism product presence from Hopewell straight back to Lucea. May it please you.
The team to be sent by Bartlett on Wednesday, October 22nd, is a belated intervention after escalating public outcry over the resort town's deteriorating state. This announcement comes after months of public outcry from hoteliers, business owners, and everyday citizens who say Negril, Jamaica's tourism jewel, is losing its shine. The latest flashpoint is the Tourism Product Development Company, whose handling of the long-delayed Negril Roundabout beautification project has become, in the words of one resident, a national embarrassment. The once simple $20 million project, meant to feature plants, lighting, and a permanent Christmas tree, is now nothing more than rubble and black cloth. Locals have mockingly dubbed it a mourning site, rather than a welcome point to a world-class destination. Business operators argue that despite Negril contributing roughly 30% of Jamaica's tourism earnings, little of that wealth seems to trickle back into the town's infrastructure or aesthetics. Now, with public frustration at a boiling point, the minister is finally taking action, or at least promising to. That's all for tonight on Negril Times, where the news of Negril comes first. Straight to you.